Towards the end of last year, Tesla significantly upgraded their FSD capabilities. And second half of last year, we also noticed changes in the AI model, prompting us to consider the future of our ADAS technology. Maybe we could adapt our system from the rule-based framework to the future. Tesla remains a leader in this field. Both we and Tesla are the only two companies with end-to-end autonomous driving systems. So, as the foremost ADAS manufacturer in China, we eagerly await Tesla's foray into China, as it presents an opportunity for mutual learning on diverse road conditions. In my recent experience, I found that driving in the United States seemed less complex relative to China's when it comes to condition. And I remember around 6 p.m. when encountering heavy traffic in San Francisco, Tesla's FSD faced significant challenges. The road complexity in China far surpasses that of the United States, so finding a better balance between safety, user experience, and capabilities in vastly complex scenarios is a challenge that we need to address in China. Now it's almost the rush hour after work. Let's start. Ready to go. The entire journey covers a distance of 16 kilometers and should take about 41 minutes. Now, I think this really feel like an experienced driver. We changed lanes smoothly. After 6 months, I feel like it would be even more skilled than at least when I drive in Guangzhou. This is the beauty of the end-to-end model for autonomous driving. It can effectively learn user habits. Earlier, we were on a relatively empty road. We should have been calmer, slower, and more like a human driver. Look, there was a dump truck on the right in front of me, and we slowed down as a safety measure, and it did so very effectively and comfortably. And I feel like the latest version is very easy to work with. It doesn't feel abrupt, rather it feels like a skilled driver. It can anticipate when it needs to move slowly to the left, begin decelerating early, and then slow down. After confirming that it was clear, we sped up to pass. You can also see that as the vehicle approaches the red light, at about 80 to 100 meters away, its speed begins to decrease and it slows down gradually before reaching the red light. Can you also explain what nationwide rollout means? Well, we can provide users with XNGP capability regardless of the city or the road within the city, whether it's a main road, ramp, or unmarked road. We have expanded from covering only a few cities using the whitelist style approach to now being able to provide nationwide coverage. And I actually heard from colleagues that we developed the capabilities of U-turns and covering small roads a long time ago. We could have rolled out the entire country in January of this year. Why did we wait until July? Well, in fact, in July and August last year, we already had the capability of generalizing without high-definition maps. In fact, our capability can cover the whole country and all the roads. Let me just give you some examples. There are different types of traffic lights, such as progress bars, tags, and traffic lights with various shapes. If the model's training data hasn't seen them or haven't, fully seen them, how the model performs is similar to a quality control process. We used to work on special projects that focused on studying traffic lights, including the blocked ones, to ensure that XNGP provides a consistent experience in every city we drive in. Road intersections, for example, across the country, have diverse characteristics as well. For instance, roads in Guangzhou are very different from those in northern cities, where there are often unique bridge piers. After extensively verifying 20,000 kilometers of roads across the country, we have confidence in the comprehensive knowledge and improved understanding of the entire end-to-end large model. With these capabilities, we're confident in releasing XNGP that meets our safety, comfort, and usability standards to all our users, allowing them to enjoy the safe, comfortable, and smooth experience provided by XNGP on every inch of the road across the country. Look, there are many inexperienced new drivers on our right who are learning how to drive. So At this time, we went from right to left and then we were blocked by them. We cut from the middle to the left to bypass these inexperienced drivers. In fact, it's been very smooth. Can we actually drive on small roads in the countryside? Of course, as long as it's a real road, we can definitely drive on it, even, across farmlands. And actually today, I feel that this version is driving more smoothly than before, and the positive difference is very obvious. We utilize a range of training techniques to enhance the overall judgment capability, making it safer, smoother, and more like that of an experienced driver. As our user base continues to grow, our XNGP is seeing increased usage, whether it's for mileage or user penetration. With these developments, everyone's expectation for, our performance, decision-making, and user experience are rising. In such a complex and uncertain environment, I believe that only an end-to-end model can truly deliver the experience that we seek. Now let's take a look. The roundabout may have 5 or 6 exits. It's a huge roundabout. I remember that it was always difficult to handle such a situation before. Let's see how it does today. There's still room for improvement in the current situation. When approaching the roundabout, the vehicle remained in the third lane to stay in the queue when it should have changed lanes. Yeah, it would have been easier to turn right in the third lane if it could think like our brain does. The speed during the U-turn is approximately 7 kilometers per hour. I believe the speed after the U-turn is slightly slower than expected, but it quickly picks up to over 40 kilometers per hour. This is actually the first time I felt like our U-turn was smooth. Because previously I thought there was one rule for U-turns and then at a certain point a second rule applied. Suddenly the steering wheel was swiftly turned and then if 1 or 2 pedestrians showed up, it immediately started to game. Using a large AI model, it can learn more about human drivers' U-turns and better control the car's paths and trajectory. I actually noticed that the driving wasn't very smooth for that short period of time. Instead of going straight, the car initially moved to the middle before proceeding. This made me think of actually the comparison between cerebrum and cerebellum. I likened some level of autonomous driving to the cerebellum, which is responsible for coordinating our movement, control, and balance, and the cerebrum is similar to controlling decision-making and lane selection when driving. Even though navigating provides a route, the brain can still make flexible decisions based on road conditions and choose alternative when necessary. The large model also provides guidance on how we can transition from our semi-L3 or L2++ to full L3 autonomous driving in certain scenarios. These scenarios could include low speed, or fully autonomous driving in urban areas, or even recharging the car at night. With the help of the large model or AI, achieving this is possible. And I think it's going to be very fast because the capabilities of the ADAS, has significantly improved over the past 2 years. And, our iteration is very fast and there are 2 versions, every day. And because of the speed of a modification and iteration verification is very fast, the model is even updated every few days. And I feel that we have made significant progress vertically, and now it's time to focus on making progress horizontally as well. We can address various common scenarios, such as, different types of vehicles on the road, including bicycles, dump trucks, buses, tricycles, driving on rural roads, reverse driving, etc. We propose that this year we aim to achieve the same performance as Waymo in all cities in China by 2025. What capabilities do we need to accomplish this? Well, first, we need to utilize end-to-end capabilities across at least 90% of future scenarios. This is basically an essential aspect of expansion. And I believe the key implication is that our entire iteration process, which includes data mining, data acquisition, storage, and training capabilities, forms a closed-loop flywheel. In other words, we must transform our working methodology to a data-driven one in order to define scenarios. Look, just now, other cars were aggressively cutting into our lanes. They just cut in hard. Don't you think the traffic is more intense here than in the United States? Well, with that said, our XNGP performs excellently and smoothly. There's no sensation of it wanting to move forward and then suddenly or abruptly braking. And I noticed that the car in front suddenly stopped because it wanted to cross the road, and our car accelerated to go around it. Look, it was necessary to cross the double yellow line because another car is parked in the middle of the road, which is clearly a violation. We temporarily entered the opposite lane and briefly went against the traffic with one side before actually passing the parked car. Well done. When I was driving FSD and making a right turn, I noticed that it behaved very similarly to a person. As it approaches an intersection, it came to a stop and seemed to observe for about half a second before actually proceeding. The behavior was quite noticeable. And from a certain perspective, I think that the training, or the training of an advanced model will make the car increasingly human-like. And we also made a conscious effort to push towards the right, as you can see, because the other car drove in the wrong direction. In our lane, our car veered to the right, and our right wheel almost hit the curb as we tried to make way for the oncoming car. And I see a very complicated situation, obviously. Another large car is cutting into our lane, so we have to slow down and move to the right. If I were driving, I would move even further to the right as well. And basically, we are able to maneuver around these different situations. Good. The turn is good. Look, what is it doing? It's hesitating and slowly accelerating. Now, this road is actually much more chaotic than in San Francisco, with both pedestrians and vehicles, lacking discipline. This is definitely an issue. I'm still very, very excited from the experience. We used to have 3 historical versions. The first version was that we have made parking visual. The second version was that XPENG has realized XNGP on the highway for the first time, and the third version was when we brought intelligent driving, or ADAS, in the city to the car for the first time. And today I feel like this is definitely the 4th version with huge upgrade. Based on this version, I can feel and I can see that XPENG will have a great experience in all places and across China, and it will drive better and better with both safety, and efficiency and comfort. Starting from this version, XPENG motors will experience a significant leap. So we're really excited about the release of our major upgrade coming in July. Definitely Xiaopeng shared valuable opinions and suggestions with us. And as he mentioned, I believe in AI's potential to really revolutionize the autonomous driving industry or automaking industry. And we are confident and excited about leveraging AI and big data or large language models to enable our ADAS capabilities across all scenarios, including parking and different roads, ensuring both safety and comfort. Stay tuned for the release of our major upgrade in July. With usage, we expect the performance to improve constantly as it becomes operational nationwide. Thank you, everyone.